What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you my first impressions of Deathloop. Now, this game has, of course, been out for a few months, but this is primarily a CRPG-focused channel, but in between covering CRPGs, what I like to do is cover games from other genres, just to break things up a little bit and keep me from being burnt out. And this time around, that is Deathloop. That said, I also like to share my first impressions before I then later review the game once I actually get done playing it. So, shouldn't really be any spoilers here, as there isn't really much to spoil. The premise of the game is that you are trying to break a time loop that your character has been stuck in. But first impressions wise, I have actually played and reviewed Prey previously. Playing the next game from that developer was something I wanted to do, which is how we arrived here. But I did want to mention you can definitely kind of see all those similar gameplay elements from Arcane at play here. A lot of the slabs, which function as abilities that you can acquire and then upgrade as you play the game, kind of take the form of abilities from previous games that they've made, such as Dishonored. And while there are some unique takes, they are still, nonetheless, very fun, which is good, because personally, I'm already finding the environments to be a little bit repetitive, because if you're unaware, what you'll do is you'll basically cycle between the same 4 areas, just at different times of the day. And while things do, of course, change, such as the environment going from like sunny to snowy as the day gets progressively colder, as well as what is going on in that zone changes. However, the layout and things don't really change, and once you've run through that so many times, you've pretty much got it like the back of your hand, because the areas themselves really aren't that large, so it can be a little repetitive running around. But the gameplay of Deathloop, I can't really fault. It's actually just a ton of fun to run around. There's lots of ways to approach each area, stealth, going loud. You can kind of do a mix of the two, which is what I imagine most people will do. But the gameplay itself is fun. And basically there's 8 people you need to kill, and you get to do all this research and, basically finding fun ways to kill them, which has been honestly pretty amusing, especially compared to the harder core RPGs that I normally play. It's nice to just kind of play something that, albeit is a bit repetitive, but nonetheless just very action-y and fun to run around and shoot things. They've got a lot of fun gameplay mechanics. There's a little hacking thing you can use to turn turrets and things that are being used onto your side. And personally, I'm also enjoying reading all the notes and everything you can find around, which, relates to the 8 people you need to kill for the most part. However, some of those notes will kind of explain the history of the island, which is called Black Reef, and, how this time loop came to be and why it came to be, which you will also see expressed a bit through your interactions with a character named Juliana, who kind of serves as an antagonist that your character regularly talks to as you enter areas and the like. Now that said, they used Juliana as a bit of a framing device, so to speak, for a little bit of multiplayer. That said, this will happen even if you have that function turned off, because either single player or multiplayer, Juliana will sometimes invade your game. Now, if you're playing single player and you have this turned off, it's just an NPC that will kind of spawn in and act much differently than the rest of the enemies you would normally fight. Whereas if you're multiplayer, then someone is controlling Juliana. Now, while I think the concept is cool, me personally, I just find it annoying for the most part, because you're actively trying to chase down these leads and stuff, and I get that she's supposed to be the antagonist trying to stop you, but most of the time with the way the missions are structured, you're trying to do something, and then 9 out of 10 when this happens, it's, for me personally, annoying rather than a fun gameplay thing, though I do kind of get what they were going for there. But without rambling on for too terribly long, there you go, guys, kind of my, just, again, very general first impressions of Deathloop. Overall, I'm having a ton of fun. The gameplay, again, a lot of fun. Some interesting and quirky things going on around this island for sure. But my first impressions quickly summed up: fun, but definitely pretty repetitive. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.